Hi, I'm Dorcas. So this video is all about how to make a website using WordPress. And the video is a simpler, shorter version of a tutorial that I'm giving to my UCD Master's students this week. Before we continue, it's really important that you know I'm not going to be talking about WordPress.com. If you're interested in WordPress.com, then go somewhere else. Don't watch this video because it's not for you. This video is all about WordPress.org, which is like the full, proper main version of WordPress. And in order to use this version of WordPress, you need to have your own domain, you need to have your hosting, and then you install WordPress on your domain. So basically that's all I've done for now. So I'm just going to show you the dashboard. So here I am logged into my own website, and all I've done is installed WordPress. I've done nothing else, so that you can see me doing everything from the start. And the biggest tip that I'll give, the most important thing first of all, is just to open up a separate tab so that you can see the preview or how your website actually looks as you're working on it. So here you can see this is how it looks after I've installed WordPress. I've done nothing else, I haven't changed anything. And then this here is my dashboard. So this is what I see when I log into my website. So the dashboard is like the control panel or the admin area, but in WordPress they call it dashboard. And over here on the left hand side, you can see all of the navigation options for the dashboard. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click down here into settings. And you can see here where it says site title and example site is written here for me. That corresponds to what it says here, and it also corresponds to what it says here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this maybe the name of your business. For me, I'm going to just make a dummy website just for practice. So I'm going to call it Wedding Planner because I'm planning to make a website, a dummy website just for today about website or wedding planning, I should say. So the tagline is whatever you want. And then down the bottom of the page, I click save. If you notice as well up here, see where it says WordPress address and site address? If you change this, everything will go blank and your website will disappear. So you're not going to change them. If you wanted to move your domain or this website to a different domain sometime, this is not the only place you do it. You also have to do some changes in the database. So the simple thing I'm going to say for now is just don't change those things unless you know what you're doing. So now the next thing I'm going to do is click into pages. And pages is where you create the static pages of your website. So if you want to blog, you're going to click into posts because posts in WordPress language means blog or blog entry. And in pages, this is where you create the static pages, for example, about the home page, the contact page, the main pages of your website. So the first page I'm going to make is the home page. So you just click add new. Up here, I'm going to write home. And this section here is like the main content area of the page. So just for now, I'm just going to write this is the text for my homepage. And then over on the right hand side, you can see there's a button. It's a blue button and it says publish. And that means save in WordPress language. So you can see once I click publish for the first time, now it says update. So for you, update or publish basically means save. So you can see I saved this. And then a really important habit to get into when you're making your WordPress website is to do a little change in your dashboard and then check. So when I check, I just refresh the page. So depending on the browser you're using, it might be, there's different symbols. Usually it's like a curly arrow maybe, or it's F5 often on your dashboard. So you can see I refreshed my page, I just check, but nothing has changed. So the home page that I've created, this page here, isn't there. So the first thing we need to do is actually assign this page to the home page of your website. So you need to tell WordPress that this goes like on the root. So what I'm going to do is go to Appearance and Customize. And then when this page loads up, you scroll down. So it could be usually it's the last or the second last thing here where it says Static Front Page. Click into that. And then your latest post is automatically selected. So I'm going to deselect that by selecting a static page. And then you can see in the drop down here, a front page, you can see there that I can choose the home page that I've created, select home, click save and publish. I click the X in the top left hand corner there to go back to my main dashboard. and then I just check to see what is to see the changes. So I refresh, and now you'll see the home page appears here on my home page. So that's done. So now I'm going to make some more pages on my website. So I'm going to click Add New, and this is the About page. So I'm just going to quickly put in, this is the text about my business. Click Publish on the left-hand side. And let's make another page, Contacts. And this is how to contact me. Obviously, you can add in those details later. So I've made 2 new pages. Now I'm going to go to my preview and refresh. And you can see nothing has changed. So I can't see the About page or the Contact page that I've just made. So what I need to do is I need to make a navigation menu. So to do that, you go to Appearance and Menus. And you can see here, it's telling us to do what it wants us to do. So it says, give your menu a name, then click Create Menu. By the way, sorry about the dog barking. I hope it's not too distracting for you. So I'm going to call this menu maybe Main Navigation. It doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it Menu 1 or Top Menu. It doesn't matter. It's just a reference for you. So I click Create Menu on the right-hand side. It doesn't matter which of those buttons you click. And then you can see over on the left-hand side here, these are the pages that you've previously made. The sample page is just a default one that WordPress made. So I'm going to add Home and then add to Menu. Or you can see I can add in multiple pages at the same time and add to Menu. You can see here the way I've accidentally added in Home twice. So to delete that, I just click the little down arrow and then remove. So it's gone. And then you can see that I can also change the order, because actually Home should always be first and contact should always be last in the menu. So I'm just going to drag down Contact. Now it's last. Now I click my save menu, then I go and I refresh and I check to see the changes, and you'll see there's no changes there. So that means we missed something. So I'm going to go back into the dashboards, and you can see here where it says display location. You can see there's 2 options there, and this here is theme specific. So I'm going to talk about themes in a moment if you don't know what themes are. But basically this is theme specific. So that means that if you're using a different theme to me, you might see some different options here. So for me, I'm going to click Top Menu. You might see something like Primary Menu or Main Menu or some variation of that. So select something, click Save Menu, and then we're just going to check our preview. And here you can see the menu appears. And even if I click About, I just make sure it really works. If I click Contact, yes, it brings me to the contact page. So everything's working. So from looking at our menu, we need to create our menu. You can change the order by dragging. And the most important thing is to make sure that something is selected down here in display location. Otherwise, you've made the menu, but the system doesn't know where it actually appears. So let's go ahead and make some more pages. I'm going to add in some more pages. So let's say I'm going to have a main page about all of the services that we do, and hit publish. And actually, instead of services, maybe I'm going to call this wedding planning services. This is all about our services. So maybe I'm going to have one general page about my services, but then I'm going to add in individual pages about each service that I do. So let's say, for example, maybe we look after venues. I don't really know much about wedding planning. Then I click Add New to make a new page. So I'm going to call this Wedding Decoration. And then we're going to make a final page, Add New, Coordination. So let's hit Publish. And then I go check my preview. And of course, you can see nothing has changed. So I need to add in those links into the menu. So to do that, we go back to Appearance and Menus. And you can see here are the new pages that I've made. So we add in Services, Venue, Wedding Decoration, and Coordination. Let's add these in. Contact should always be last. So I'm just going to drag that down the bottom. Save, and then just check to make sure that everything has worked. There you can see my extra links are there. But actually, wedding planning services, I want venue, wedding decoration, and coordination to be sub-pages of this. So what I'm going to do here is go back into my menu, and you can see that if I just select one of them, if I just bring it down underneath the wedding planning services but indent it, then it will be like a sub-menu. So I'm going to do that with the 3 different services that we do. Save menu, then go check to see the changes. And here you can see now there's a little drop down underneath wedding planning services. So those 3 pages that are indented, they're now a drop down menu of wedding planning services. So there you go. You can also see in my menu here the way I have home, about, contact, and even though this navigation menu it's pretty small, as in only 4 items before you see the drop down, generally speaking you're going to try to keep the words in here to maybe 1 or 2 words per page. So wedding planning services is quite long. So what I'm going to do is, you can see here, if I click the little down arrow, I can just change this to say services. Save the menu. And if I just go back and check, if I just refresh, you'll see that I've changed the word in the menu, but if I click this page, you'll see it's still linking to the same page, wedding planning services, so I haven't changed that, whereas the text in the menu has changed. So to remind you just to do that, you just click the down arrow, and then you can change the text there and save. So the next thing I want to talk about is themes. And themes basically means templates. So in WordPress world, templates are known as themes. So the theme describes the layout or the appearance of your website. The content is what you're doing when you create pages, for example, or later when you upload photographs, that's content, whereas the theme decides how that actually is laid out, how it appears on the screen. So if you click into appearance and then themes, you'll be able to see what theme you're using. So the theme that's active here is the theme that I'm using. So you can see that's 2017. And you can see there's 2 other themes that are installed, but they're not activated, but they're installed here, 2015 and 2016. So just for practice, if I activate 2015 instead of 2017, and then if I go and check my preview, I'm just going to refresh, you'll see how everything has changed. So it's a totally different layout, but my content is still the same. You can see my that's the content for this services page. One thing though that is different is that my menu has disappeared. So to get my menu back, you need to go back into appearance, menus. And then if you remember earlier, I was saying that under display location, this is theme specific. So you can see here, I'm going to click primary menu because that looks like a good guess. I'm going to click save menu and then refresh here. And then you can see my menu appears over here on the left hand side. So you can see how the theme has totally changed the appearance, but not the actual content. So if you're interested in getting free themes, then you should only get free themes from WordPress.org. If you want to pay for them, then I use Theme Forest a bit, or other, there's loads of places to get paid for themes. So I'm going to go into appearance and themes, and you can see here, if I click add new, then I can find all of the free themes that are approved by WordPress.org. So I'm going to choose one that I already know is good. By the way, if you want some recommended themes, of course, you can go and search on Google. You can ask people, or in my WordPress book, it's a WordPress master book and it's on Amazon. The link to that book is available in the description below this video. I'm not saying it's the best WordPress book, but if you like my style of teaching, then maybe you'll like that style. Okay, so that's Halloween fireworks and dogs. So there's a lot of distractions going on. I hope you can concentrate on me, okay? So I'm going to search for the theme Virtue. And you'll see what happened there, VIRTUE. The search, by the way, is kind of not so good. So if you misspell something, sometimes you don't see it. So you need to make sure you spell it exactly right. So I'm going to click install. While that's installing, I just want to talk a little bit about the themes. So if I go to WordPress.org, you see I'm in WordPress.org here. Then I'm going to click into themes. So all of these themes here are the same as what we saw when we clicked into on our dashboard when we were in appearance, themes, add new. So I was in appearance, themes, and add new. So what you see here, whenever it loads up, this is exactly the same list as what you see here. So what I would tend to recommend is, if you don't already know the thing you want to use and you're just browsing around, you can use this system to search. And let's say, for example, as you're browsing around, you like a particular theme. So let's just click on this one. The first thing I'd be doing is looking at the active installs. Let's just click another one. So let's say Vantage. This is a well-known theme. So you can see here, I'm looking at the active installs, 100,000 installs. That's a lot of installs, and they're active installs. So that means they're being used right now on WordPress websites. If it was anything less than maybe like 5,000, I might not use it. And one of the reasons why I would recommend, especially a beginner, to go with a very popular theme is because one of the beauties of WordPress is that there is so much information about there. There are so many videos about WordPress, so many books, so many articles, so many people who know about WordPress. And if you're using a theme that has 100,000 installs, you're probably not going to be able to think of a question related to this theme that hasn't already been answered online. Whereas if you go for a theme that has maybe only 500 installs, then you might not get such good support from the community. And also there's a chance that maybe any glitches with the theme haven't been reported or found and aren't out yet. So I'm looking at this first. The second thing I'm looking for is the ratings. So not just does this have a really nice high rating, but it has an awful lot of high ratings. So it's not like one vote that is 5 out of 5. And you can see in the text there, the most important word that you're looking for is that it's responsive. And all of the popular themes are going to be responsive now, but responsive means it'll work on mobiles, tablets, desktops. It means your website will respond to the width of the screen. So that's like super important. You can see the preview. Usually it's not very good. So actually this is a good preview, but if the preview isn't very good, so I'm just going to find, for example, a different theme. So you'll see on Virtue, if I go to look at the preview, you can see here, I'm expecting to see something that looks like this, but whenever the preview loads up, you'll see that it's not very good. So take it that it's not very good. So to see a better demo of the theme, click onto this link where it says theme homepage. Then you'll be brought to an external website of the makers of that theme, and you can see there's a button here that says view demo. That button might be located somewhere else on a different page, but here I'm going to click view demo, and now you can see a real demo of the page. For example, you can see how the slideshow works, you can see different kind of features, and you can get an idea of what you could do. So let's go back to our website. So if I click into appearance and themes, you'll see that Virtue has now been installed, but of course nothing has changed on my website because I need to activate that theme. So I'm going to activate it. The reason I'm using Virtue is because it's a really super popular theme. It's really versatile, and chances are if you choose Virtue, you'll be able to do whatever you want with your website, whether it's e-commerce or a simple brochure website, blogging, or loads of different things. And it gives you loads of control in terms of how to change the appearance of your website as well. So you can see here, I'm just getting a recommendation where it says this theme recommends the following plugins. Begin installing plugins. So I'm just going to do that because it's recommending me to do that. I click install, and then when it is finished installing, I'm going to activate it. So I just activate it. And let's just check back on our preview of our website. So I'm refreshing the page here, and you can see, of course, everything looks totally different. My menu is gone. So I just go to appearance and menus. And hopefully you already know where I'm looking. I'm looking for the display location. You can see here with Virtue, there are some more options than before. So for example, primary navigation or secondary navigation, which one should I select? I don't know. Let's try primary navigation, save menu. And then you can see the primary navigation. Okay, so now we know that on Virtue, that's where it appears up here. Whereas, for example, let's just see where secondary navigation goes. So I'm just going to deselect primary and leave secondary navigation selected. And then you just refresh, and now you can see that the secondary is actually here. So for example, for me, I prefer this location, so I'm going to leave it here. So you can see this display location, it just means where the menu goes. You choose whatever makes sense for you. So you can see my menu has appeared there. So the next thing I want to do is just click back into one of my existing pages. So for example, I'm going to click into the wedding planning services page. And I just want to go through a few things here. First of all, the link of the page is up here. If you want to change the link of the page, maybe to put in more SEO friendly terms, you can see you can just click on the edit button. Maybe I clicked there too fast. Click edit, and then for example I can write out wedding planning services, let's say whatever location you're in. So let's say I'm based in Ireland. So if that was a good search term for me, then it would be a good idea to put that into the link of the page. And you can do that on any of your pages. So I'm just going to click save or update over here, go back into a different page, click contacts, and you can see there I can click edit to put in maybe more SEO friendly terms. So I'm not going to talk about SEO now, or let's pretend you already know the good terms for you, and let's pretend I've done my own research on my wedding planning website. So I'm just going to call this, for example, contact Dorcas. If I could spell my name right, that would be good. You can see I'm putting in dashes. That's more of a habit, because as I'll show you on a different page, if you don't put in a dash, then it automatically will put in a dash for you. So if I click on, for example, venue, and if I click edit, and if I call this how to pick a great wedding venue, and if I click OK, you can see that the dashes will automatically be put in there for us. So that's how to change the link of the page, and that's a good thing to do for SEO or search engine optimization, so Google will be able to find you better. Click back into pages to see all of the pages I've made before. You can see that sample page that was made automatically before I did anything, so I don't want it there. I'm just going to click bin, and then it will be deleted. If by accident you deleted a page and you need to get it back, you can see up the top here, you click bin, and then you can see the page you've made. And I can either delete that permanently, or I can click restore, and then it will go back into the rest of your pages. So you'll see that when I click all, then you'll see here it is again. So I'm going to click bin, because I actually know that I don't want this page. So let's click into wedding planning services. And let's say now what I'm going to do is include a list. If you're going to include a list, instead of just manually typing it out yourself, click on either bulleted or the numbered list. So I'm going to click bulleted list, because I'm going to name the services or list the services that I do, which are wedding venue, wedding decoration, and wedding on the day coordination. Let's update these. So here I can have a list. Let's just check how it looks on our website. So if I click here, then the reason why that happened is just because I changed the link. If you remember, I changed the link here. So actually I just need to refresh the page. So now if I click services, there you see my pages there. So you can see my pages here and the list that I've just made. And it would make sense if this wedding venue, if somebody clicked here, if that actually arrived onto the correct page. So to add a link, you just select the text that you want to be the link. Then you click into this little icon where it says insert edit link. Click here, then click the link options, and then the page will load and it'll show you all of the pages that you've previously made. So this one links to venue, add the link. Wedding decoration, let's link that to wedding decoration, add the link, and add the link for this one. Coordination at the top, add link, update, and then just check, and always just check, because it's so easy to accidentally link some text to the wrong page. So just check, when I click on wedding venue, does it really bring me to the venue page? Yes, it does. Go back when I click on wedding decoration, and so on, like this. So internal links are really important in your website from a usability point of view, and also from Google's point of view to understand your website better. So where relevant, add links like this. So I'm just going to click on the home page, and you can see that our home page is quite simple. I'm going to talk about how to actually add in a slideshow in this particular theme later on, but for now what I just want to talk about is how to add in a static simple picture. So if we go and let's say I want to add in some text into this about page. So go to find that page and about. And then you can see where it says add media. So if I click add media, that's what I need to do if I want to add a picture into the content of this page. So it's easier if, let's say, just for example, I'll just write, this is another paragraph. So it's easier if you just put your cursor where you want the picture to be. You can move it around later, but I just like to put the cursor first where I want the picture to actually appear, because I want the picture to appear in between this text and before this text. So I click add media. And if you click into media library, these are all of the pictures you previously uploaded to your website. And obviously I don't have any pictures uploaded yet because it's a brand new website. I haven't uploaded any pictures yet. So I click back onto this tab, upload files, click select files, and then it will bring me to the files from my own computer. So let's just say, for example, I have a picture here, I want to upload it. Something that I'm not going to do here, well, I'll just show you quickly. It's always best to rename your search term, your images with your search terms. So I'm just going to do that just for this one. So I click this picture, upload it. And then let's just move me over here, because you can see if you click into insert into page, then the picture will be there. And let's just update, check how this looks. And you can see the picture's there. It's smaller than I expected. So sometimes WordPress does this and it depends a little bit on your theme. But if you click here and then as in click on the picture, then click the edit button, then you can see there's some options here where it says size. So full size, that's the original size you uploaded. And then you can see there's different options here. So for example, if I wanted it to be the original version, I click full size. The alternative text, that's important for SEO reasons. So I'm going to call this wedding, wedding arrangement, or whatever makes sense. And under advanced title, you can see this title where it says image title attributes. With your mouse. So I just wrote that in for you so that you'll be able to see where this text appears. So if I click update and then update again, refresh my page here in my preview, you'll see the picture will be bigger, of course. And when I hover over the picture with my mouse, this is the title. And actually you can see I did a little typo there. But when you hover over the picture, the text that appears, that's the title. So let's just correct my misspelling there. There you go, update. So that's how to add in pictures into your WordPress website. So the next thing that I want to do is if you go into appearance and theme options, this is theme specific now. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is widgets, or the widget area. And you can see over on this page, over on the right hand side, there's this area that says, like, it has a search, recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, meta. A lot of this is probably irrelevant to you unless you're going to be blogging. And certain things like meta, I would definitely get rid of this. Site admin, that's a link to where you log in. So nobody needs to know that link except for you. So you can see if you click onto any of the other pages, the default is that they all will have this same default widget area. So first of all, I just want to show you how to completely get rid of that area, and then I'll show you how to modify it. So if you, for example, let's say on my contact page, or like we'll keep it back to the about page. On the about page, I want to get rid of this widget area. So I go to my about page, and then you can see over in this section on the right hand side where it says page attributes. By the way, sometimes that's closed, but if it's closed, you can just open it like this. So where it says template, the default is default template. But if you click the down arrow, this stuff is theme specific. So sometimes it will say no sidebar, sometimes it'll say full width, sometimes it will say left sidebar, right sidebar, but there will be different options in here. So you're going to use an intelligent guess to guess which one would make sense if you want to eliminate or get rid of the sidebar. So I'm going to click full width because that looks like a good guess. Click update, and then of course check, because then I'll know for sure if I was right or not. And when I refresh the page, you can see now my sidebar has disappeared. The sidebar is still the same on the other pages, but on that particular page, I've gotten rid of it. If you want to change the content of the sidebar, then to do that, you need to go into Appearance and Widgets. So you can see here, there's this section, Primary Sidebar. These widget areas, which are over on the right-hand side, let's just move my face down here. So these are called the widget areas. So primary sidebar, search, recent comments, or recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, meta. This stuff all corresponds to the sidebar that is here. You can see the way you have search, recent comments, recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta. So that's that. So if I want to get rid of any of these things, I just click the down arrow and then delete. So down arrow, delete, down arrow, delete, and let's just delete all of them for now, because I just want you to know that in most templates, if you just empty the sidebar, so for example, if I refresh, you'll see that my sidebar will disappear, but in most templates, it actually is taking up some space, even if it's invisible, as in there's nothing in it, it's still taking up space. So if you want to remove it, you need to do the thing that I showed you on the About page. If I want to change what's in the sidebar, you can see over on the left-hand side here, I have all of the options. So these are all of the widget options. So everyone has the same thing, as in no matter what theme you're using, you have the same thing, except when you see down the bottom where it says Virtue, Contact, Virtue, Image, Virtue, and so on. If you remember, the theme that I'm using is Virtue, so I'm seeing them because I'm using Virtue, but everybody will have these ones at the top. So let's just say, for example, I'm just going to bring in this widget called text. You can see the way I can drag it. Sometimes that's a bit annoying, especially when you're picking one for lowdown. The easier way is if you just click, and then you can just select which widget area it's going to go into. Click Add Widget, and then you can see title. So I'm just going to write this here for myself, because let's say I don't know yet how it works. This is the content area of the widget. Click Save. And let's just check what actually happens on our website. So you can see now that's the widget. So for example, here you could put maybe your contact details if you wanted to. You could put in any text that you want to appear on each side of on the sidebar of each page. So let's say, for example, I'm going to use this as a call to action. I'm going to say call and 01, whatever your phone number is. And if it made sense, you might personalize this. So I'm going to personalize that. And you can see then the text appears. And of course that is changed on all of the different pages that has a sidebar. You won't see it on the About page because of course we've removed the sidebar from that page. So there are lots of different widgets down here. Just for practice, I'm just going to include one of these widgets, the social links Virtue. Add the widget. You can see here where it says title, I'm just going to say let's, and this links your Facebook and your Twitter. It's really important that you don't just include your Twitter handle, but you actually include the exact Twitter link. So for example, I'm just going to show you how, if I include my Twitter handle, which is the wrong way to do it, and then if we go to check it, you can see the way the Twitter link has appeared, but if I click on it, it's not going to work. So it's bringing me to just a blank page, or it's a page not found, so it doesn't work. So it's really important that you know that you have to put in the exact link of your Twitter. So for example, if the full HTTP part. So if you ever didn't know the link to your the full HTTP part, then you just literally go to your Twitter and in the address bar. So remember, this is the address bar up here. In the address bar, you just copy and paste the link in. So for example, I can just put in maybe Facebook and Twitter because maybe that's the only social media that I use, and maybe YouTube as well just because I'm on YouTube here. And you can see when I refresh, then you can see those little icons appear, and it's super important that you actually click on the links to make sure that they really do work. So I need to click, make sure I'm brought to not just the home page of YouTube, but my exact channel on YouTube. Yes, it is, so it works. And of course, check the other links as well. So that's your widget area. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is plugins. So plugins are a huge thing within WordPress, and the way I imagine it is that every WordPress website has WordPress at the bottom with the theme on top of that, and then your plugins. And plugins basically add extra functionality to your WordPress website. If you can't already do something within WordPress and you can't do something within your theme, then you can get a plugin to help you do that. And if you check my WordPress master book in Amazon, there are loads of recommended plugins that I have there, or you can do a search in Google for recommended plugins, and you will find there loads of resources out there about plugins. And plugins are like themes. If you get a free plugin, only get it from wordpress.org. So I'm going to click into plugins here and just want to demo how to install a plugin. So you're going to click add new, and the plugin that I want to install is called Yoast SEO, because this is one of the best plugins for search engine optimization within WordPress. And like with your themes, you have to install the plugin and then activate it. So install basically means download, and activate means that you actually turn it on. And when this plugin gets activated, then you'll see there's a new section that will appear in your dashboard on the bottom towards the dashboards. In the dashboard menu, sorry, it's there, SEO. And you can see when I click into pages, there's also a new section that has appeared over here on the right hand side, and that section is here because of the plugin that we just installed. And if you click into any page, so I'm going to click into the about page here, you'll see when I scroll down, there's a new section here called Yoast SEO. So this plugin is really good for helping you with your search engine optimization, which I'm not going to go into, but I just wanted to mention that plugin. So another plugin that's really good from a security point of view is limit login attempts reloaded. And oh, I have forgotten to click add new. So when you want to install any plugin, you click on first plugins and then add new. So let's just do that. So plugins, add new, and then I do search for limit login attempts. And this is the one that I want to install. So of course I install this, and when it's finished installing, then I activate it. So activate. And you can see that when you install plugins, they're going into different places in the dashboard menu in the left hand side. When we installed Yoast SEO, it got its own entry here in the dashboard, whereas when we install limit login attempts reloaded, it's actually here within settings. So I click settings and limit login attempts. So this plugin is designed to help prevent brute force attacks to your WordPress website. A brute force attack is where I could try to hack your WordPress website by trying to log in, by running a computer program that will try every possible username and every possible password in combination. Eventually, I'd be able to log into your website if I tried a brute force attack. So here you can see that, for example, you can leave it as a default, or I might say after 3 allowed retries, there's a 20-minute lockout for that IP address, and maybe after 4 lockouts, increase the time to 24 hours. So I'm going to change that to maybe 2. And you can see actually I want an email after 1 lockout. So that means I would get 1 email when there is a lockout. You can see there's even nicer things here where I could even include a whitelist. So a whitelist would be my IP address so that I never get locked out no matter how many times I put in the password wrong. Or I could put in a blacklist for certain IP addresses if I knew that there was an issue with an IP address. Anyway, for now I have a brand new website, so maybe I don't know my own IP address yet, or I don't know obviously anyone who's targeting me. So I'm going to click Save Changes. And then that means that plugin is activated. So that plugin was as simple as that. And another plugin that I'm going to include just for example is social share buttons, because of course social sharing is super important now. So the plugin that I want to include is called Simple Share Buttons Adder. So whenever that appears, it's this one here. by simple share buttons. So I'm going to, of course, install this and then activate it. I really like this plugin because it gives a lot of control over the appearance of the plugin. So I activate this, and then I can find the settings for this. You can see the way I'm just looking in settings, simple share buttons. And here we have the different options, so you can sort of guess how this might work. To turn it on for the home page or pages, you can click on it or off. So for example, just for you guys, I'm going to not put it on the home page, I'll just put it on pages. Placement before, after, both. Let's say I don't know, or I'm not sure yet, so I'm just going to leave that as maybe both, and I can change it later. The share text, it's only fair to share, maybe let's leave it like this. I want to allow people to share from Facebook, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, and let's say maybe you want to throw in Tumblr and Stumble Upon and Pinterest. So add in whatever makes sense for you. You can see here, and if I want to have the Zing or WhatsApp buttons, then I need to get the paid for version of this free plugin. So I have to just save this, and then let's go check our website and see how the share buttons appeared. So let's click the about page because I have content here. So you can see the way the share appeared at the top and at the bottom. And for example, if I click on the Twitter share, then box will open like this, where it shares the link of the page. So that's what that is. So there's loads and loads of plugins out there, but that's just an example of 3 plugins. The next thing I want to talk about is the customizing the appearance of your WordPress website. And just so you know, if you're using a different theme than me, then this is where the video stops being relevant for you. If you're using the Virtue theme, keep watching. So click into appearance and then theme options. And the part that I want to talk about mostly is the home page, but before that I just want to basically point out that there are loads of different options here where you can change things. So that's why Virtue is such a great theme. But for example, you can see how this logo layout option here, if I want to upload a logo, I can see where I can upload the file here, and I can even change the layout of it. So for example, you can see the way up here where it says wedding planner, that's where your logo would appear if I uploaded a logo file. And if I click the centered option and then just save the changes, so let's just move me over here, save the changes, then you'll see when I refresh, then the way the logo would appear centered. You can see there's lovely things like, for example, the typography, that's the type of font you're using. So you can see there's defaults there, but there are absolutely loads of different options to choose from for your different headings and so on. So let's say if you want to click this, choose lemon, then you see if you save the changes and refresh, then you'll see that your H1 or heading 1 font will change there as well. So there's lots of different settings in there. And by the way, Virtue has really nice supports, and I'll include some links to the Virtue supports in the links below this video in the description. In basic styling, there's things like, for example, you can change the color, and there are loads of different options here. What I want to talk about is the home layout. So you can see if I click onto my home page, it's pretty basic. So I just have some text and no slideshow or anything. So for example, if I wanted to add in a slideshow, I'll do that in a moment, but for now you can see, for example, if I want to add in anything extra to make it look more similar to the Virtue demo, then that's where you find them here. If you wanted to add in a slideshow, you can see where it says home slider settings, and you can see, first of all, I just choose the slider that I want to use, so I'm going to choose flex slider. If I want to add in a slider image, then you can click here, so add slide, because I want to have 2 different slides. Now I click in here, and that's where I'm going to upload the file. I'm not going to talk about how you resize the image. If you want to know how to resize an image, I have a different video about that, and that's in the description below here. So I've already resized my images to the right size. I also have already renamed them, let's pretend, with my nice search terms. And let's say I'm just going to add this image here. So you can see here where it says title, description, and slide link. So the title is the main text will appear. So let's say I'm not sure how it will appear yet. So I'm just going to write title, then I'm going to write description, You can write anything you like. I'm just writing that so that I know when I see title, okay, now I know where title appears. When I see description, now I know where description appears. There's also this option slide link. So this slide link, basically this means that each slide could link to a different page on your website. So in order to include my slide link, it's a little bit more difficult than earlier before when we added links to the different services pages. What I need to do is go to the page where I want to link to. So let's say, for example, this is going to be a description about wedding coordination. So that's just a, let's say, some text or reference for myself. I can edit it later. So slide link, I want this to link to the wedding coordination page. So I go to the wedding coordination page, and then you can see the link here. I'm just selecting the whole link of the page. So copying that, and I paste it in here. And let's just quickly do our second slide, and then I'll show you how it looks. So let's say this time we're going to link to the wedding venue page, or whatever makes sense. So if I just add my slides, the dimensions that I have made my pictures for are 1170 by 450, because that's the sort of well, not sort of, that's the exact dimensions that are used in the demo here. So I'm going to match that because I want my slideshow to look like the demo, but you can see how you can change that if you want. So I'm going to save my changes, then just check how our website looks. And you can see when I click onto the home page, then you can see now I have a slideshow. If I click left and right, now I can see that I have two pictures there and they're working. If I click on this page, it should bring me to the venue page, and it does. Great. But you can see there's something missing. The title and the description aren't there. So what are we missing? So actually, the clue is further down this page, and you can see where it says show captions. Click on or off. Let's just move me again over here. Click Save Changes. And now you can see the title and the description appears there. And actually anything, you can click here, or you can click here or here. Anything within here links to the pages that you've linked to in the description. Or sorry, not in the description, in this section here. So of course now I can click back here and I can make this be a nicer call to action, or maybe some nicer text or more useful text. The reason why I just wrote title and description is just so you can see how they appear differently. So that's all for today. You can see that basically we've made a website, just the bones of a website. Of course, you would have more planning going into your website in terms of the content and the pages and everything like this. But that's the bones of how to create a website within WordPress. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments below, and hopefully someone will answer, or I'll answer. If you buy the WordPress master book, which is available on Amazon, then you're entitled to join a support group on Facebook, and I'll be sure to answer any questions that you have in that support group. So thanks for watching.